Hari Om, good evening, a very warm welcome to all of you. Please come. Let's pray together. Om. 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 Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Avedvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord, the Almighty, the Omniscient, the Omnipresent, the Omnipotent, who also has the divine name Bijamavyayam, such a magnificent Lord. Together, with Shraddha, Bhakti, and Prapatti, we offer our humble salutation to seek His grace, mercy, love, affection, compassion, forgiveness, strength, resilience. O Lord, we beseech in you to enhance the divine qualities in us, Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, Prapatti, and Mumukshutvam, only and only to understand thy true nature within our own very hearts, to have the first hand experience of that divinity right within us. we again and again to grant us this aparoksha anubhuti, and at the end of our life we reach thy holy. Oh, today by the grace of Almighty and the blessings of the Guru Parampara, we are on our Divine Discourse number 390 on the 3rd of September 2024. Swasti Shri Krodinama Samvatsar Dakshinayan Varsharutu Bhadrapadamas Shukla Paksh Bhaumavasare Pratama Atitha Purva Falguni Nakshatre Siddhi Yoge Bhavakarani. On this auspicious day of Tuesday and the auspicious time of the evening, we all take an oath, make a firm resolve that, O Lord, whatever comes to me in my life as situations, circumstances, incidents, occasions, be it through a person, place, or by objects, I know fully well, I believe truly that it is only and only your play and leela. I know that you have decided to uplift this jiva from the ocean of births and deaths, and thereby you are giving us this knowledge of the true self. And you have been giving me situations in life to moderate various aspects like jnana, vairagya, bhakti, shraddha from time to time. Having this complete belief in you, I surrender to the stage of prapatti. And I will always prove myself in terms of my bhakti towards you, that acceptance towards you. I will not question anything that comes to me in my life, not even a wee bit. I will never be anxious. I will never get scared. I will never feel miserable. I will accept everything, your prasad. And I know you will give me the strength to deal with it. Cope up and keep moving forward the way you want me to move. Our salutations to Guru Parampara. Om Sat. Good evening to all of you. A very warm welcome once again. So, now our goal is to calm the mind. The soul always knows what to do to heal itself. Challenge is to silence the mind. Now, our primary challenge here is silence, because mind is the only aspect which is between us and Ishvara, the Lord Paramatma. That's the only thing in between. And how do you denote mind? The I factor in us, which is having various flavors. It comes as Ichha, it comes as Dvesha, it comes as anger, it comes as jealousy, the Shadripus. So in this way, the mind From time to time, it takes you on different routes, on different rides, and it makes your life miserable and it will not allow you to reach this. So, as we understood in the last verse, I'll just take a recap once again. Let me read the verse once and then we move ahead. We're going to take 24 and 25 together. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sankalpa Prabhavan Kaman Tyaktva Sarvana Sheshataha Manasyaivendriya Gramam Viniyamya Samantataha Shanai Shanairuparamedh Buddhya Dhriti Grahitaya Atmasanstam Manakritva Kritva na kaschidapi chintayet. So, these two shlokas have to be understood together. So, in the first 24th shloka, Lord Krishna, he talks about the primary fidgetive nature of the mind. How the thoughts come in and how the senses, they get together, and again the mind joins in over there. See, the whole conglomerate is there to devastate you. How it takes you into a turmoil. Now this is told in the 24th verse, and in the 25th verse the Lord says, Shanai Shanaihi, slowly and gradually. Don't expect things to work out overnight. Whatever instant we talk, it's not going to work like that. Shanai Shanai, slowly and gradually. With that practice, steadfastness, without thinking of anything else. You cannot say that I'll do this also, I'll do that also. And if I get time, I'll do this. Otherwise, no. Your priority in life has to be Atma Chintan and liberation. Now, this can come only based on your determination. That is making it over here very clear. You can't ride on two boats. Yes, you do the duties towards the world, but don't get into active participation. See, many things, if you observe, how I construe this is in this way. Some jobs, when you want to do afresh, some new endeavors, you will have to put your 100% concentration in it. Because you have still not understood the way that whole aspect works. Any task for that matter. But routine things, like you want to bathe, you want to cook, you want to drive, you want to talk to somebody over the phone, a casual talk. Do you need any great preparation for this? You don't need anything. So, the Lord says, now you have your duties towards your world, which you have been used to doing for several decades. Keep doing, where a bit of concentration is required for that work, a little bit, but majorly your focus and attention should be on that, which is that consciousness. Now we are slowly moving towards that. See, you may listen to 100 lectures, 100 episodes, 1,000, you are getting the knowledge. But finally, unless and until you practice that knowledge, you will not reach where you want to reach. It is there in you. Like you're looking at your teacher doing solving a sum or a problem on the board. When they are doing, you will feel that, oh, I have understood. I have got the entire steps one by one. You think that way. But now you start writing. If there are about 6 or 7 steps, in the third step itself, you will fail. You will come to know how much you are able to do only when you start doing. So here, we know that it is only the mind which has cooked up various aspects in my life, which are all false. And now I just need to remove the unwanted things. So that's precisely what we are doing over here. The unwanted things, which are the anatma aspects, where there has been an intrusion, where there has been an encumbrance by the mind saying that this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, this is, which is not the case. So now this is the simple Atma Jnana what we are getting. To know what is true and what is false. So taking that particular concept, now as we are doing our meditation, when I come to the meditation part, I'll explain more about it. But now let's get back to the shloka. So what we learned last time was a vritti gets into your mind. Vritti is a thought, sankalpa. Now if that is strengthened a bit, it becomes a desire. I told you about that child who has entered the exhibition or the mall with his mom, and then at one point he says, I want a bat, another place he says, I want a gun, another place he says, I want a balloon. Now, what is he doing? Thoughts are coming into his mind. Before that thought or sankalp or vritti, it strengthens, before it becomes a desire, he jumps to another thought. There we don't have any problem. If we can behave on those lines, then nothing will disturb us. But what we do, no sooner a thought comes, we immediately go on thinking about it again and again, and that becomes, and desire up to a point where we call it as raga. Raga means a much more intense state. To what extent? Now this, I don't think I'll be able to. That is the highest point. And one step lower would be where you will say, I will not be happy in my life unless I get this. See how your mind is playing with you. It wants you under its control. So this is all, it cooks up like this. So now we understood last time, appreciate things. Asti bhati priyam rupam nama chetyam shakam panchakam. These are all the 5 things where it is created by the Lord. Asti bhati priyam, existence, consciousness. Priyam is bliss, are his original characteristics. Rupam and nama, name and form, are what he exhibits in this world. So look at this. Yes, anything you see, appreciate, but have the name of the Lord behind it. That's it. Not to say that no, I don't want to look at the world, I don't want to look at nature, I will get entangled. No, look at anything but see the Lord behind with the Nama Panchakam. And here, Sankalpa Prabhavan Kaman Tiktva Asheshataha. So appreciating something is welcome, is fine, but desiring it is dangerous. But there is one more clue the Lord gives over here. Because now he is trying to separate us from the flock. So what he says, I know your mind is disturbing you. Now what is the point if you only get to know the theory? We need something where we can come out of this muddle, isn't it? So this is something where you get in some study of some commentaries which are written at depth. So there he says, for the one who surrenders to me, see, it is so simple. There is no worry. As far as you take control of things in your life, you will be worrying, you will be suffering. But don't ask me why. I've told you again and again, he says, surrender. accept whatever comes. See, the true definition of bhakti. See, we think, array, I go to so and so temple every week, and then some people have got Monday, they go somewhere, Tuesday, then Wednesday, then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and they think that that is bhakti. It's not bhakti. True definition of bhakti is not being disturbed by any factor in life, whatever comes. Put a test to yourself. Now you have taken a vow, you have taken a pledge, and you have said that, oh Lord, I trust in you. I know that you are uplifting me from this ocean of births and deaths. So for that, you know what is the game plan. I don't know. So when I have surrendered to you and I know that you are sending situations to me from time to time only and only to safeguard this soul, so then why am I even worrying? So any point of time you feel a little anxious, fearful, troubled, worried, means even little bit. That means even that much of bhakti is less in you. You have to fill that gap. Now, let anything come. I know that the Lord is behind this and it has come with a purpose. Then your bhakti is 100%. You don't have to go anywhere. Otherwise, what happens is going to temples and it's more like you are there, going there to ask something. That becomes a transaction. So be very careful. Test yourself. Last time so and so thought came, I was a little nervous. Now you tell your prefrontal cortex, next time a thought comes, don't allow my limbic system. Now you know the science behind how things work. That's why I'm talking so much of the brain. That limbic system will start giving you fear. Say that now the limbic system is not active. My prefrontal cortex has taken charge and it is going to say, I accept this with full honor and faith. That is true bhakti. So what he says, here he says in fact in 7th chapter, 14th verse in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mamamaya Duratyaya Mameva Ye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. Says what? Those who have surrendered to me, tarantite means I will cross them over. I will cross them over. And this divine energy of mine, which is that Maya Shakti, it has these three modes of Prakriti, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So they keep taking you into an entire. But if you have surrendered, this Maya Shakti and these Trigunas, they will not do anything. These are all declarations, injunctions, what we call. So you should understand. When he has said so, if you have faith in somebody and somebody asks, how is that person? He's trustworthy. If he says 10, then you understand that he will deliver 12. Then you will say about somebody, you will say, if he says 10, you assume it as 5. This is the kind of rating you give. How? That is out of experience. So now here, when you have trusted somebody, believed somebody, and you know that that person is going to help me, then why do you say, for example, you're visiting your friend's house. It's a bungalow and you have decided a time and you go there. As you go near the gate, immediately the dog starts barking. Huge hound, it starts barking, and luckily it is tied. Now it is so ferocious, the very sight of that dog makes you get chill in your nerves. So what you do, you stand at the gate because you don't want to take that risk. Then suddenly you see your friend coming. the main gate, at the main door. And then he says hi and welcome, and then he comes towards the main gate. He knows that you're scared. As he comes, he opens the gate for you, and then he puts his hand over your shoulder, and you're having a hearty talk, and you're going now. Now this dog, which was barking at you ferociously, the moment it sees the owner talking to you in a friendly manner, now the Malik comes and he releases the dog. Now the dog comes and sits next to you where you're having your tea, and it is just looking at you. That's it. Not at all fearful, a friendly look. Now your friend is like the God, the dog is Maya, Prakriti, and you are the. When God was not there in association, what did the dog do? If you had managed to enter, it would have caught you right there. But the moment it knows that God is with you, my owner is with this person, it completes. So such is the case. So what this shloka says is, you need his grace. The moment you surrender to him, you get his grace. Then nothing, no Maya, no Prakriti, they will not do any harm to you. As per your prarabdha, whatever has to happen will happen, but you will not get affected. So this is what he tries over here. And then now, as we spoke about these desires, which are involved in the sense perceptions, and the mind is also there. Now what they do is they open different gates for the disaster of a soul. Now when the desire becomes a raga, I want it at any cost, and then if it fails, what happens? It becomes, if fulfilled, it becomes lobha, you get greed. And if say lobha also is fulfilled, that greed also is fulfilled, then it becomes moha, delusion, confusion. Then you start thinking that you are no greater than them. So this is something which affects your progress. Too much of success, what happens is a person will not be in the right mode to rise in towards self-realization, because he thinks I'm no less than God. Kind of a high status of pride. And on the other hand, now let's say if it is not fulfilled, then it causes suffering. So any which way, even if fulfilled or unfulfilled, suffering, unfulfilled, then somebody else gets it, you don't get, so you'll get this matsarya, jealousy, start getting angry, enmity. Then sometimes you also get this pratikara, which is revenge. So all will claim supremacy. So we have to be extremely watchful about our. And now when these thoughts are coming, if like that small child, you jump to another thought, fair enough. You never made it to a state of sankalpa or to a raga, to a desire and raga. You have kept it at the state of the sankalpa itself. Fine, safe. But the moment you intensify it, then you are in trouble. Either ways, that is what we need to understand over here. So how to manage this desire, what to do? So before the raga, we have desire, that sankalpa. Be aware at this point that this sankalpa at some point is going to become a desire, and stop thinking about thinking. Constantly watch your mind and take the name of the Lord. And you can, now you know how to converse with the Lord. You have to say that, yes, I'm trying my best, but this is again and again coming to my mind. Chant the name of the Lord, the shloka, what you know, and that Maya. Even if you leave a little bit of it behind, it can blast at some point of. This is known as Shesha. Shesha means a residue. Some desire somewhere at the corner of my mind, at the corner of my heart I've kept. I don't know when it will last. No. These are the association of the mind and the senses. At some point they will again derail you. And just for our knowledge, there are 7 Sheshas, residues, which we talk in this world. For example, the first Shesha is Agni Shesha. Agni Shesha is somewhere something caught fire, let's say. You put off the fire and you ensure that at some point there was fire, you put water, you put sand, whatever you need to do, you do all that. And at every point you check that there is no more fire left. Otherwise you have seen, immediately blast, bug, karke it comes off again. So in the same way, this is Agni Shesha. As you put off fire to the last bit, in the same way, you have to put off this desire in you to the last bit. Second is Vyadhi Shesha. Say you got viral flu. Now the doctor tells you you have to take antibiotic. Okay, a 5 days course. By about 3 days you are okay. Are you going to stop? You ask the doctor, he'll say, I told you 5 days, take it for 5 days. Reason is, if you stop taking, the complete evacuation, outside you're feeling good, but inside there is some shesha of some virus still. The pathogens are still there in your body and they can immediately again show up. So that is Vyadhi Shesha. Grassroots level, you see that all the viruses are mellowed down, not down. Then Runa Shesha is one more. Runa means your debt. Now you have borrowed some money from somebody, and while borrowing they asked you some surety, collateral security. So you gave your house papers, or you gave some gold, or whatever you have given some property to them. Now let's say you have paid 80%, 90%, and you feel, oh, I have paid most of my loan, and you sit back and relax. No. Manage somehow to pay that 10% and get back all your. Because you may think that I have paid 90, not much of loan is left, but understand that your entire property papers to the tune of 100% are there. So this Runa Shesha, don't keep anything. Pay the balance, principal, and the interest you had agreed to pay. Don't take anybody's Runa and get back what you have to get back. Otherwise you don't know how it will last again. Then Shatru Shesha. Somebody is an enemy with you. Now, after a lot of resolutions, you made friends with that, you managed to dissolve the problem. But somewhere in his mind, he will still have that enmity. Because you have just resolved, okay, at the face of it, you said sorry, he also said sorry, and it's over. But the Shastra says, there is that bad taste in his mind. How do you remove that? Make him your friend. Call him over. Or you go to his place and start becoming a friend again. So that's how that Shatru Shesha, not even that wee bit, don't leave it. Now we come to the fifth one, Vasana Shesha. See, we have all these Vasanas in us. The tendency is not of this birth, but from several births in the past. So he says, get rid of those Vasanas. And for that, the best method is Ishvara Aparada Kshamapana. What we are doing, Anyada Sharanam Nasti Tvameva Sharanam Aparada Sahasrani Kratani Maya. So here you are saying, oh Lord, there is no other refuge for me than you. You are my sole refuge. I have committed thousands of offenses in the past. You have to ensure that I get rid of all vasanas. So this is about the Vasana Shesha. Then comes the Ajnana Shesha. You have this ignorance. You see, now we're talking from the Sadhak's angle. So after the Vasana, this Ajnana which is there, somewhere there is something still in your mind. You have completely not reached the ultimate state. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, if they say, it is Para Aksha Anubhava. It is somebody else is saying that. Para Aksha, it is his experience. But what it should be? I know what he's saying is 100% truth. Prajnanam Brahma is saying, perfect. Tattvamasi is saying, good. But if you don't want any kind of a Shesha over here, you should reach a point. Aham Brahma. No, you have replaced that aham which used to talk of that egoistic I. You have made that Parabrahma as soul. Aham Brahmasmi is the aparoksha anubhuti. Whereas Kalvidam Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma is the Para-aksha anubhuti. It is not Puroksha, Paraksha. So that way, Ajnana Shesha is when you have reached that stage of Brahmasmi. And in fact, it once so happened that a devotee of Nisargadatta Maharaj, he was very pleased with Nisargadatta Maharaj, and he said, "Oh, you are Maharaj, you are the knower of Brahman," he said. Suddenly Nisargadatta Maharaj yelled at him. He said, "What are you talking? Nonsense." This devotee got little zapped. He said, "I'm praising you to the highest level. You are the knower of Brahman, I am saying." And he didn't understand. Many of the people who were sitting in front of Nisargadatta Maharaj were also zapped. And he says, "I am not the knower of Brahman. I am corrected." He says, "This is my state." Meaning that much is my confidence of this existence and this end. And then the last one comes Papa Shesha. That Papa Shesha again will bring you back into samsara. Till what stage is the Papa? Papa is till the stage of Jiva Bhava. As far as you are in this Jiva Bhava, as far as you are attached to something or the other, one thing is enough for you to get attached. Don't think that, "Arey, I have given everything." Only one thing. My daughter is there. My son is there. My granddaughter, my grandson, or my property in so and so, or my jewelry, whatever. One thing is enough to bind you to this entire Janma Mrityu Samsara. So if you want that Vasana Shesha to go off, if you want to have the Ajnana Shesha to go off, and if you want to have the Papa Shesha also to go off, this Aham Nasha has to, Ano Nasha. And if you see all this, we are precisely, our exercise is on. It's very well formulated to take us on the path what the Shastra is taking. Because this is a self-built exercise. Of course, all the thoughts are by the Lord. There's nothing that we are doing over here. So it is a divine intervention for us to take us on the quickest way possible. So in this way, now Lord Krishna tells us, be watchful of mind. Get rid of all the sheshas you have in your. Now we move on to the verse. Shanai Shanai Ruparamed Buddhya Dhriti Grahitaya. So here, Shanai Shanai means, as I told you, very slow and gradually. Uparamed means you forget. You till now you were hardcore in the world. Suddenly you come up and you say, "Now I want to spirituality." You sit for meditation. What will come to you in your mind? All the people you know, all the situations you have confronted, all the objects you are aspiring for, and all the troubles you have gone. Only those things are going to come to you. Where will God come to you suddenly in your mind? So for that, Shanai, gradually you have to, yes, it will not happen in one day that you just sit down and you say, now I'm going to have a perfect meditation and I'm going to immediately get on to what all I need to do with my mind. No, mind is terribly stubborn thing. It just knows what it wants and it has got no reasoning capacity. So the Lord here says you also must have buddhi. Buddhi is intellect, the faculty of reasoning. Again, I'm talking about, now we're going to understand the brain aspect and you will find it. Why we're imposing so much on the brain? So this buddhi, the faculty of intellect, that will give you the reasoning capability. And as in Vidura Niti, Vidura says, Ekaya dve vinishchitayaha, meaning every point of time in your life you will have two roads in front of you, two options. I go this way or I go that way. Now this way and that way means the good way, the bad way, the right way, the wrong way. Every point of time. After you finish your 10th, 12th standard, take science. Then again in science, do I take biology as my major or I take chemistry as my major? So likewise, everywhere, two options. So this Vidura Niti, now a little more just for our common knowledge. Vidura Niti comes from a conversation between Dhritarashtra and Vidura, where he is trying to bring sense in the mind of Dhritarashtra. That is known as Vidura Niti. There are 5 nitis or jewels in Mahabharat. So one is Vidura Niti. Then the second one is Sanat Sujatiyam. So it is between Dhritarashtra and Sanat Kumara. See again, how many people are trying to convince Dhritarashtra? And the third niti is Yaksha Prashna Niti, between Yaksha and Yudhishthira. These are all knowledge-based nitis. The fourth one is Bhagavad Gita, which happened between Arjuna and Lord Krishna. And the fifth one is the Vishnu Sahasranama between Yudhishthira and Bhishma. So there he says, Ekayadve vinishchitaya, meaning you will have two options. Keep your mind with buddhyaya. With buddhyaya, you need to take decision. Then the second one, what he uses over here is, along with buddhyaya, he talks of dhriti grahitaya. Dhriti grahitaya means courage. Buddhi, that intellect which is strengthened by courage. It's not just intellect, intelligence. No, it also has got. See, many know that Atma Jnana, spirituality, divinity is the sole purpose of one's life. But a majority find reasons to escape because they lack courage, conviction, and confidence in life. They know this is right. अरे बहुत अच्छी बात है, आप ये सब कर रहे हैं, आप करो. नहीं, अभी टाइम नहीं आया. That way. They don't have confidence because it is completely going to defy you. What are we? We are killing that aham bhava, no? You are on a journey to kill your own self. At the end of the journey, if you are successful, what should happen? Yourself is not there. That is the end of a successful spiritual journey. So you need that confidence. So that's the reason in many of the scriptures, if you say, one of the basic requirements for spirituality is they talk of purushatvam. Purushatvam means masculinity. It is not in the direct meaning translation. It means that, but it is not that. It is courage. So there can be men who are not having courage. There can be women who are more courageous than men. So this spirituality needs that age. Dhriti grihitaya. So buddhya and dhriti grihitaya. That's what he talks about here. And as you get more and more acclimatized using your brain and your courage, you move forward. You should also know that shanai shanaihi, this is not going to happen overnight. And you may say this Vedanta is for scholars, yogis, sannyasis, etc. We are ordinary householders. One need not be a yogi or a sannyasi or a scholar. You may be a grahastha. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was a grahastha. You may be a simpleton, a grahastha, but what you just need is the Ishvara Anugraha. If you have got the Guru and Shastra, meaning Ishvara Anugraha is on you, there is no doubt about it. You have got the invitation already. But what the Lord says is, be attentive. Don't take it lightly. As in Kathopanishad, Yama tells Nachiketa, he talks about Surasya Dhara Nishta Nishita. Surasya Dhara Nishita Duratyaya Durgam Patastat Kavayo Vadanti. This path to spiritual realization is as sharp and difficult to tread as the edge of a razor, says the wise, he says. It is just like that walking on a razor, meaning it needs attention. You can't say, I'm going to look here, there and all, and I'm going to at the same time walk. No, it is like you're walking on a razor. Be attentive, have that courage, and be focused. That is the simple reason why it is said that you need that courage at the same time. So now here, the Lord, after having given this much knowledge to us, then he takes us to the next level. In the meantime, now I'll try to take you a little bit about the brain today. I'll not take much time, maybe about 10 minutes I'll take on the brain, whatever we can understand, and then we get back to our meditation. Minimum 30-35 minutes is a decent time for us to do it in the appropriate manner. Now you must have noticed, when we say that so and so's sense organ does not belong to me, first level we say that, and then the next level what we say? We say that all that this sense organ is doing is happening only and only because of consciousness. So which means the creator of that sense organ, in other words the owner, and the sustainer who is maintaining it also, both are consciousness, the Paramatma Shakti. Okay. In between we give a small gap. Why is this gap given? Now there is a scientific reason for giving this gap, and that's what I'm going to share with you. Now, this is theory which was developed somewhere in the 1895, but it was not explained that well because there were no tools to understand what is happening in the brain. One Herbert Ebbington, he had spoken about this in 1895. Now this 10 seconds rest, what we do while learning, a very effective way. You can tell any of the students who are learning anything in their life, whatever, not about spirituality, anything in learning, if you want to do it in the appropriate optimal manner, this is known as micro offline gains. We have the hippocampus. Now when I show you the graphs, you will be able to identify. Hippocampus is the area of memory in our brain, which is back in the brain. In the front you have the neocortex. What does neocortex do? It processes all the sensory information which comes and it exchanges with the memory. Now memory is the store box. Whenever you want, you go and keep it in the cupboard inside your home. What comes to you at the main gate, a main door, you collect it, and what all needs to go in different cupboards, you go and keep it over there. And whenever you want, you go and bring it back, isn't it? So the same way, neocortex, in exchange with that hippocampus, it goes and deposits whatever it needs to deposit over. Now, when you are learning, you give a 10-second gap. So in that 10-second gap, what you give, there is an exchange of the information between the neocortex and the hippocampus, the area of memory, 20 times. 20 times it exchanges in 10 seconds. Like you have learnt a word, let's say for example, Shanai Shanaihi. Now you are by hearting the shloka. Okay, Shanai Shanaihi Ruparamed. You say Shanai Shanaihi Ruparamed, Shanai Shanaihi Ruparamed, and you stop. Now in that 10 seconds, into 20 meaning, what happened now? 200 times. It has gone back and forth. So that will help you to regain stuff in your mind. It is known as a temporal compression. So anything which we have learned, give a gap in between. It will go deep in your mind. You will have the advantage of multifold times of this process. Okay. So this is also known as the spacing effect and micro offline gains. These are the different names. But we need to give a gap. And sometimes if you have studied for 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour, just lie down for 5-7 minutes. You will see that processing happening, whatever you have learned in that 1 hour gap. See, these are all techniques after knowing how the brain works. Okay, so you can use this. So when we say this sense organ does not belong to me, you stop there. It will go and form a neural path in your mind. Earlier, till now, I thought that this eyes belong to me, ears belong to me, the nose belongs to me. I thought that, but now I know I'm changing the circuit. I know it does not belong. And I am not doing anything for the functioning of this organ. This is a primary focus. Whatever you have learnt, all these sessions for close to 400, all these sessions are on one side. Now this particular exercise is on the other side and more powerful than this so much of listening. Now this has done all the chitta shuddhi, it has done so far. The chitta shuddhi, chitta ekagrata, all that has happened. Now is the final, what we call as Sat Fera, as we say. All the functions, 3 days, 1 month preparation, 3 months preparation, all that culminates in that Sat Fera, or in the South we talk as Mangalya Dharana. It culminates. So it is that important. We have to focus on what we are doing over here. Now, I'll take you to, I don't know how much we'll be able to do. Little we'll try. I'll show you some important pictures of the brain. Now see, these are the 3 important neocortex, as we told you. This matter is all that neocortex. This is the limbic system, which causes us all our fears, emotion, and all that you're seeing in the limbic system. And then the reptilian cortex. This is the overall structure of the brain. Now the limbic system in more details. See, here is the, on the left hand side, the green part, what you see, hippocampus. This is the area which takes care of all the memory of this data which we have. And then comes the neuron. Now how many neurons I told you we have in our brain? We have 100 billion neurons, meaning 10,000 crore neurons. Mind it, 10,000 crore neurons, this kind of a neurons, the complex structure. Now, Between the neuron, one neuron and another neuron, you have synapses. Can you see at the bottom synapses? These are the small transmitters from one neuron to another. These synapses are the transmitters of information. Now if I want to say go somewhere, now that information from my brain has to go to the leg, and it passes through all the neurons in the brain, and a command is given to the leg, and through the nervous system your leg starts functioning. Now how many synapses are there? Trillions. Trillions meaning 1 trillion equals 1 lakh crore. So there are several lakh crores of synapses in our body, in our brain. This is the strength of the brain. See the complexity. Now this should only tell you that I am not an owner. No. I'm not, definitely I'm not an owner of such a complex structure. For that understanding, if you get it, we are safe. Because we know that, till now I thought I am the owner of this body, I am the owner of this brain. I'll explain to you again and again now. We have finished our ear part. We'll go to the skin next. And then I will show you the complexity of the eye. So every alternate or once in 3 lectures I'll take you. Now there are 3 types of neurons here. Sensory neuron, motor neuron, interneuron. And see the next one is the neurons firing. See how? Like electrical impulses. Small electrical firing happens from one neuron to another. You saw a picture outside, you saw a beautiful car, let's say. You saw the car, and the thought of the picture of the car through your optic nerve went into your brain, and what did it do? It showed you the picture in the mind. How? By these electrical firings of the neuron. Can you understand what Maya is happening over here? I hear to a sound, and those sound waves through the ear, at one point it reaches the brain in terms of electrical impulses, and I say this sound is so nice, this sound is, I say sound is horrible. Taste. So this is the marvelous function of the brain. Now you look at these synapses, how it is, where there are 1 lakh crore, there are several lakh crore of synapses in our entire brain, in that small brain, which is about 2% of the weight of the human body. That's all. Crores and crores. Look at the so many parts in between in the synapses. So in this way, now coming back to the brain aspect. Sorry. No. And I told you, like, if you, every neuron has a tail which is known as synapses. Now if you connect the tails, it is 1,80,000 kilometers will be the distance. That is the kind of the number of synapses you have in your brain. Okay, now I'll tell you one important part, so that we have something that we have understood about the brain today. Let me take okay. When you do chanting and when you do meditation, what is the benefit you get out of that? So every time you do a chanting and meditation, what importantly happens is the brain structure automatically goes to a state where you consume the least amount of energy, and you will have the maximum amount of focus and concentration. So that is the advantage of doing the Brahmari and the anulom-vilom and om chanting. So this is the greatest advantage what we have. So there was once a a neurologist. Now she tells another neurologist, okay, let me take the reading of your brain. So before that, they saw that her various parts of the brain were at a very ordinary level. Just 5 minutes she was told to meditate. Meditate on her breath. Just take some deep breaths and exhale, inhale, exhale. And they saw that her theta, you have first is beta, alpha, then theta. Last comes delta. So theta level, there was a phenomenal change in her brain. So that shows before you get into any kind of a meditation or chanting, you have to sharpen. As you sharpen your knife to get the right cutting effect, or as you heat your pan to make your rotis to the best extent possible, in the same way you have to do this anulom-vilom, Brahmari and Om chanting to get the maximum result of this brain. So the theta state intuition ability to discriminate the good and the bad, this is very important. The Viveka Shakti, what we call, now that rose to the highest level. And this was again proven by Harvard University, where people who meditated deeply, they had a very low firing in the limbic system. Limbic system is where you get scared of situation, where you get nervous, where you get zinced. So all this is done by the limbic firing system. So in meditators, the limbic system hardly was firing, but the prefrontal cortex was very active. This was a study done by the Harvard. So that is the reason we see that why is our mind calm when we meditate? Why is our mind calm when we do mantra chanting? This is the reason. The firing of the limbic system, it goes to a dull state. And when the limbic system is not active, you are not at all worried. But when you allow it to act, then your worry starts. This is the simple reason to meditate and to do mantra chanting, to keep your anxiousness to the lowest level, and to do that mantra and meditation to the optimum level. You start with anulom-vilom and Brahmari pranayam. If possible, add Om, otherwise these two are good enough. So this is the link, how to lead, how to keep yourself at peace all the time. Anytime your mind is disturbed, just do anulom-vilom and do some Brahmari. Immediately you will be far better than what you were experiencing. We'll go into more details. I have several things to talk about the brain. One more very interesting aspect which I saw in the brain was, we know about IQ, we know about EQ, intelligent quotient, emotional quotient, and then the third one is now spiritual quotient also, which we know most of us. How the brain functions when in three different aspects, when these quotients are there, how it functions. So these are something which we should connect and understand so that we get that confidence in what we are doing. Read the No SAMYAMA, verse 46, number 429. Vistarasthavarasthanuhu pramanam bijam avyayam arthonartho mahakosho mahabhogo mahadanaha. Bijam avyayam, the immutable seed. Since the whole world has sprung from him, he is the indestructible and changeless cause of the world. It can also mean that without which the world can never be. Hence, he is the undecaying root of all things. O Lord, who is Bijam Avyayam and who is the very cause of our existence, We seek His grace, mercy, blessings. Offer our salutations. Let's do the Dhanvantari mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amritakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyanidhaye Trailokyapataye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. We offer our humble salutations, Lord Dhanvantari, to give us the right amount of health to achieve our goals. Please come. Let's do the anulom-vilom, pranayam, and Brahmari pranayam. Prepare ourselves for a very effective anatma meditation towards aparoksha anubhuti sadhana dhyana. Anulom-vilom. By now, your breath must have been equal in both the nostrils. Let's do the Brahmari pranayam. after having prepared our mind. Correct? Let's start. So we'll be doing the 3 into 12. One line, horizontally 12 mantras. At the ring of the bell, I will chant the first mantra, and 11, balance 11 you'll be doing on your own. You have the choice to either focus on the square or focus on the meaning of the mantra, or you can focus on the awareness, or you can focus on the image of the Lord, whatever you like. If you have any other Ishta mantra, you can also chant that. Second row will repeat the same, and when it comes to the third row, I'll chant mantra before every anatma saying, and we move forward. Let's start. ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्. Continue chanting. This is primarily to bring in your mind and place it at the point you want to. Second row. Now I start. ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्. स्तोत्रं समर्पयामि. The ears and the ability to hear do not belong to me. They belong to the Creator, the Almighty Prakriti. All that the ears can hear, the sounds, the noises, the speech, the music. All this is happening in consciousness, by consciousness, and ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। त्वक् समर्पयामि। The skin and its ability to perceive the sense of touch does not belong to me. It belongs to the Creator. All that the skin is able to perceive in the form of touch, be it heat, cold, rain, air, fire, pleasant and unpleasant. All these experiences of touch are happening in consciousness, by consciousness, and through consciousness. I am just a witness to all that is happening. Idam narpanamastu. ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। चक्षुः समर्पयामि। The eyes and its ability to see does not belong to me. It belongs to the Creator, the Almighty Prakriti. All that the eyes are able to see, people, places, objects, colors, all this is happening in consciousness, by consciousness, and consciousness. I am a mere witness, Sakshi, to all this happening. ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। जिह्वा समर्पयामि। The tongue and its ability to taste does not belong to me. It belongs to the Creator, Almighty Prakriti. all that the tongue is able to taste. Sweet, spicy, salty, bitter, sour, pungent. All these tastes are known in consciousness, by consciousness. And I am a sure witness to all this activity. ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् घ्राणं समर्पयामि. The nose and its ability to smell does not belong to me. It belongs to the Creator, the Paramatma. All that the nose is able to smell, the fragrances, the odors, the pleasant and unpleasant smell, all this is happening by conscious. And I am fully aware and I completely understand that all the sense organs, the ears, the skin, the eyes, the tongue, and the nose do not belong to me. They are not created by me. They are sustained and maintained by the Creator, Prakriti Paramatma. I have no role to play in its maintenance. Out of sheer ignorance, I thought that all the actions done by the sense organs are done by me. I now completely surrender. And at every point of time, these sense organs are at play. I realize and will make myself clear everything is a play in this consciousness happening through. I become a drashta, a witness, a Sakshi, the whole play without getting involved in the action. Essence. ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् वाक् समर्पयामि. The power of speech does not belong to me. It belongs to the Creator, Almighty. All that the mouth is able to speak in terms of words, sentences, sounds, all this is happening in consciousness. And I'm sure त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। पानीयं समर्पयामि. The hands and its power to function does not belong to me, it belongs to all the functions of the hand, right from brushing your teeth, bathing, combing your hair, dressing up, doing puja, cooking, eating, driving, writing, holding and grasping, giving and taking. All these actions are happening in my conscious, and I'm a mere witness to all these actions, body and ॐ त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्. पाद्यं समर्पयामि. The legs and its ability to function does not belong to me. It belongs to the Creator. All the functions of the legs, sitting down, getting up, walking, running, cycling, all these are happening consciousness by consciousness, and I'm a sure witness. ॐ त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्. वस्त्र समर्पयामि. The genitals and its power to reproduce does not belong to me. It belongs to Almighty. All the functions and experiences of the genitals are in consciousness, by consciousness, and ॐ त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्. वायुः समर्पयामि. The anus and its functions do not belong to me. It belongs to the Almighty Prakriti. All the activities of the anus are happening in consciousness, by consciousness, and I now realize and understand that none of the organs of action are created by me, nor they are maintained and sustained by me. The anus, the genitals, legs, the hands, and the power of speech are all owned, maintained, and sustained by consciousness. Out of ignorance, I thought I was the owner of all these organs, and I always felt that all these are in action only because of me. This was out of sheer ignorance. I completely understand that I am a sheer witness, a mere Sakshi to all the actions of this. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiv Bandhanan Mrityurmukshiyamamritat Prana Samarpayami. The vital functions of breathing do not belong to me, belongs to Paramatma. All the actions of the Pancha Prana, Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana, inhalation, exhalation, purification of the blood, hunger and thirst, intake of food, digestion of food, absorption of nutrients, supply of nutrients to various parts of the body, elimination of waste from the body. In short, all the physiological functions, psychological functions, neurological functions, immunological functions, and the endocrinological functions are happening by the Chaitanya, in Chaitanya Shakti. And Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiv Bandhanan Mrityurmukshiyamamritat. Manaha, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara do not belong to me, it belongs to Paramatma. The mind, the thoughts, feelings, emotions of the mind, the intellect, and the decisions taken by the intellect, memory, and all the thoughts of memory and the recalling of the ego, the sense of I, me, and mine. All these are happening in consciousness, by consciousness, through consciousness. Stage by stage, I realize What a blunder I have committed. I am neither the owner of anything nor the sustainer of anything, but all along I have been using these organs, these faculties for my selfish needs and deeds, forgetting the power behind the creation and sustenance of all these organs. I completely surrender to the Lord, relinquish all my wrongdoings, and stay in the thought of a pure. This jiva, embodied with a body, senses, prana, mind, intellect, memory, and ego, is a creation of the Almighty Paramatma. Paramatma by default has given the sense of ego to this jiva, and this ego has completely distanced the jiva from the Ishvara, making it think it is separate from the Lord, the Creator. And with its senses and mind and the sense objects of the world, this jiva is completely engrossed in enjoying the world with its senses. Now, by a very special grace of of Paramatma, through Ishvara, Shastra, and the Guru, now this jiva is blessed with the knowledge of the self, Atma Jnana. This knowledge of the self completely burnt down the ignorance that it is different from the Almighty, that it is the doer of all action, that it is the enjoyer and sufferer of all action, knowing which now this jiva is uplifted by the grace of Ishvara from the ocean of births and is now experiencing Paroksha Anubhuti, the experience of self within its own. It has realized that it is none other than has realized that it is Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya, Jivo Brahmaiva Napara. Tattvamasi Prajnanam Brahma Ayamatma Brahma Aham Brahmasmi Aham Brahmasmi Aham. Ekamadvitiyam Brahma. There are no two, there is one and only one Parabrahma. Thus is the end of this jiva, complete manonasha, aham nasha. God and God alone is consciousness. Consciousness that prevails. Voham, voham, voham. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnate Shan Shan Shantihi Hari Om Sri Maya Sadgurave Namaha. Together we offer the Jnana, the lotus feet of God, seek His grace, blessings, and may this knowledge be constantly running in our without giving our mind hope to come back again. This can happen only with blessings. Good evening. I hope you're able to go in the deep state of complete surrender of your ego and accept that all along what we thought about ourselves is completely wrong. There is no jiva here, there is only Ishvara and Paramatma and Paramatma. That has to stay with us all along. But don't worry, we'll go to the next stage, how to be in that state on a constant. That is the purpose of this whole meditation. We are not even midway. We will slowly upgrade ourselves as forward.